So you can go ahead and spread out, come into a symmetrical, relaxed position, and just take a moment with eyes closed or a soft gaze to allow your attention to turn inward, slowing down the breath. Feeling where you are right now. Body resting into the floor. You can keep your eyes closed or open them as it's useful for you. And let's begin by sliding arms overhead, stretching out through your arms and legs, reaching through your fingers and toes. And then interlace your fingers, press out through your palms, and flex your feet, reaching through the heels of your hands, the heels of your feet. And then release and bring your right knee to your chest. Give that knee a good squeeze in. And then straighten the right leg up towards the ceiling, holding somewhere behind your leg for a gentle hamstring stretch. It's wherever it works for you. Flex and point your foot a few times. Circle your ankle a couple times both directions. Bend your knee back in, open your knee out to the right, and then straighten part way or all the way out to the side. And you're working with your body, exploring what's possible, what feels useful right now. And while you're feeling whatever it is you're feeling, can you relax your face? Can your breath be slow and deep? Bend your knee and bring it all the way across for spinal twist. Open out through the right arm. Let your knee and shoulder reach away from one another. And staying in your twist, try straightening your right leg on a low diagonal, right arm on a high diagonal, letting fingers and toes reach away from one another. And then roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in. Take a little circle or rock with your knees. Massaging the lower back and sacrum into the floor. And then grab hold of just the left knee. Drop the right leg long. Squeeze this knee in close. And then straighten this leg up towards the ceiling. Flex and point your foot a few times. Circle your ankle a couple times, both directions, getting out all those little clicks. Bend your knee back in, open your knee out to the left, and then straighten part way or all the way out to the side, exploring your limits right where they are right now. It shouldn't look or feel or be any different than it is. And then release. Bend your knee and bring it across, spinal twist. First with a bent knee, feeling this shape. And then try straightening your left leg on a low diagonal, left arm on a high diagonal. And roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in. Evening out your torso on your mat, lengthening the lower back away from the upper back. And then release, drop your feet to the floor, and we'll get set up for some core work. Start by drawing the belly in, pressing the lower back down from the inside. Interlace your fingers behind your head, and then exhale, lift the head and chest up. Inhale, release down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Up. And down. Up. And down. Let's take 2 more. Last one. And then release. Send your right leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, head up towards your leg. Inhale, head down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Up. And down. Up. And down. Let's take 1 more. And then release. And switch. Left leg high. Exhale, head up. Inhale, head down. Up. And down. Up. And down. Up. And down. Let's take 1 more. And then release and switch. Right leg high. This time take your left arm across. Each time you exhale, reach a little further across. As you're doing this, try not to use too much momentum or arm strength. So it's really the abdominals contracting that leads the movement. 1 more on this side. And then switch, last set. Left leg high, right arm across. Belly drawing in strongly the whole time. And if you can, relaxing your face the whole time. One more. And then release. Stretch long through your arms and legs. Bring your knees in, little circle or rock. And then make your way up to sitting. And let's come all the way forward into a high push-up position. So we're going to set the hands shoulder width apart. Step the feet back, bringing your whole body into a straight, long line. So try not to let the hips sag or lift, but everything in line. The head, shoulders, hips, and heels. Shift your weight forward as you lower down, elbows hugging the sides of the body. And then let's come into a little back bend. So that could be a very low cobra, as low as feels right for you. You might take it gently at first. Could push into your hands and come a bit higher. Wherever you are, have the shoulders back and down. Nice long neck. You might come all the way into up dog with hands right under shoulders and pushing into the tops of the feet. You get to choose what feels right for you. And then back to down dog when you're ready. Let's tuck the toes and lift the hips up and back. Let's pedal out the feet a little bit in this first one. You can bend one knee as you press the opposite heel towards the floor. And then go back and forth a few times, waking up calves, hamstrings, ankles, feet. And then let's drop the knees and sink back to child's pose, releasing hips to the heels. And just a reminder that you can rest anytime, whether you rest in this shape or a different one, one I suggested, or anytime you need. And your rest could be a good time to check what you had been paying attention to and invite it back to what you're doing. Check your breath, slow it down. With arms out in front of you, walk your hands over to the left and then pull back through your right hip, stretching right side a little more. come through center and over to the other side. Pull back through your left hip, stretching left side a bit more. And then back to center. Let's lift up through table. Come back through down dog and walk your hands and feet towards one another. Let's hang in ragdoll. Feet hip width apart, parallel. You can bend your knees a little or a lot. You can take any arm position. You might just let your arms hang. You could link your elbows. You could also use support through your arms, resting elbows on thighs or hands on ankles or blocks. Can you let the weight of your head really drop? Feel the heaviness of your head hanging. Bend your knees a little more and slowly roll up, coming all the way up to standing. Let's step up to the front of the mat. Come into mountain pose, Tadasana. Feet can be together or apart. If your feet are apart, just check that they're not turned out, but pointing straight ahead, parallel. We'll take a full A-series sun salutation. Next, inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, fold forward, swan dive down. Feel free to bend your knees as you go. Inhale, lengthen, part way up. Plant your hands on the floor and step back, coming into a high push-up and then lower down, chaturanga. Come into your back bend, cobra or up dog, and then back to down dog when you are ready. Please take the time you need. Let's take 5 deep breaths in down dog, or come back to child's pose, or drop your knees or your forearms, or come to sitting. Any neutral shape, more important than the shape. Come back to slow, steady breath. Come back to presence. One more deep breath here. Come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold, let your head release fully. Inhale, up to standing, sweep the arms high. Exhale, arms press down. Again, inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. This time from down dog, when you're ready, take your right leg up to the ceiling, just as high as you can, and then bend your knee to your chest as close as you can, and start circling this bent right knee, making the biggest circle possible for your hip joint. Now, if it would work better for you to do this from tabletop, you're welcome to drop the left knee to the floor instead. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, send it a little higher, and then take a big step forward, high lunge. You might need to adjust your footing, take your time. When you're ready, arms sweep up, hips sink low. Each inhale, lengthen through the arms, through that straight back leg. Each exhale, ground, release, feel what's touching the floor. What is there to let go of? Even in this powerful pose, can you relax your jaw? Can you relax your shoulders? Last breath here. Tip forward, standing splits, hands to the floor, or to a couple of blocks. Let's lift the back leg, and we'll do this with hips square. So instead of having the hips rolled open, see if you can roll the left hip down so it's even with the right. And can you let your upper body release, just like ragdoll, head hanging. Feel free to bend the supporting leg as much as you need to. Use blocks if it's difficult to reach the floor. Last breath here. Step back. Warrior one, drop the back heel. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, settle in, deep bend in the front leg. Straight long back leg. One more breath here. Release, hands to the floor. Make your way back to down dog. So take your time. You might come through a vinyasa, high to low push-up, up dog or cobra to down dog. You can skip any part of that. You can move in your own way. From down dog, slow down your breath. When you're ready, left leg sweeps up as high as you can. Bring your knee into your chest as close as you can, and then start circling that bent left knee as big a circle as you're able. You can do this from hands and knees if you prefer. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, send it a little higher, and then take a big step forward, high lunge. Feel free to adjust your footing, maybe shimmy that back foot a little further back, and then when you're ready, arms high, hips low. Inhales, look for space and length. Exhales, grounding and ease. Last breath here. Tip forward, standing splits. So you can grab blocks or something like a block for your hands. Bend your supporting leg as much as you need to. And you're reaching that back leg just as straight and high and long as you can. Doesn't have to be any straighter, longer, or higher than you're able, but go to your edge. What's your edge right now? And in that edgy place, can you relax your face? Can your breath be deep when it feels like this, whatever's happening now? Last breath here. Step back. Warrior one, drop the back heel, inhale, arms up. Settle in, deep bend in the front leg. And in each pose, there's so much you might learn about your body. And we do that at the rate that we do it. So don't worry about what you don't know or what you can't do. You're just doing your best, given what you understand and are able to do. And being open to discovery continually. Last breath here. Release, make your way back to a good resting pose. You might come through a vinyasa. And then settle into a good rest, whether that's down dog, child's pose, sitting, something else. If it's useful, you might close your eyes. Last breath here. Let's come all the way to sitting. So getting there however you want to get there. We'll extend the legs forward. Take the flesh of the sit bones back, inch the heels forward so you're as long as possible on the backs of the legs. If you feel like the bowl of your pelvis is tipping backwards, you might put a little something under it just to help get the pelvis more upright. And we're going to fold over the legs. As you fold, you might grab your feet. If the feet are out of reach, you could put something around the feet like a strap or scarf or dog leash, or have hands on the floor to support length through your back as you fold. So you're just folding as much as you're able, finding your edge where you find it. Going towards length, towards folding, and then letting it be how it is. Inhale to look up. Exhale, release. Let's take the soles of the feet together. Draw the heels in as close as you can. And you can either grab your big toes or your ankles with that grip, lengthen and fold. If your elbows meet your legs, you could push into them to help them open, or if it works better for you to lean into your hands or elbows, you could do that. And again, you're just going towards the directions you know to go towards a flat back, towards folding, and then it shouldn't look or feel any different than it does for you. We have different bodies, so of course it will look different. This isn't about getting anywhere. It's about opening your body, finding your limits, and being with that, just as it is. Let's release. Bring the upper body back up, knees in, and come back onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest. You can take a little circle or rock. And then we'll drop the feet to the floor, getting set up for bridge. Feet hip width apart, parallel. Press your feet down to lift your hips high. Once your hips are high enough, interlace your fingers behind your back, shrug your shoulders underneath you. Take hips as high as you can, chest as high as you can, spreading the upper back and lower back away from one another. You might imagine you have two big hands at your back, spreading. And then take your arms out of your way, roll down. Let's take happy baby. Grab the soles of the feet on the inside. Press your knees towards the floor. You can keep your legs bent or straighten them part way or all the way, one at a time or together. And then release. And let's get ready for our final resting pose. If there's anything else you need to do to feel complete in your practice, feel free to take some time for that now. Is there part of your body that needs a little attention, or any last pose that you'd like to get in? Do you want to adjust your clothing in any way, or do a little self-massage? And take the next minute or so to wrap things up. And then when you're ready, come into a symmetrical, relaxed position for your final rest. Letting go. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, move your wrists and ankles, and take a big stretch out through your arms and legs. Bring your knees in and roll to one side, pausing there for a moment. And use your hands to help you up to sitting. We'll bring hands together at the heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today.